second report's a good one. Ready to hear where the remnants came from? The original remnants were created in Dr. K's lab. They aimed to create a trigger for activating the well. By infusing objects with a carefully calibrated limb wave, the ones that shared a resonant frequency would...
Yeah, just get to the good stuff.
You know, you'd be a much better ghost hunter if it weren't for that unfortunate attention span. Reading this makes it obvious how the remnants ended up in the wild.
Wait, what? How?
The gamma ray surge that caused the mass hallucination event. That energy irradiated everything within a 10-mile radius. Objects with the right characteristics absorbed that energy and became the remnants people found out in the zone.
Wow. Francis would get a kick out of that one. I'll tell him later.
I've reviewed Dr. K's lab notes. Now we know what he was doing in that lab after the accident. Spinning in circles for years.
His injuries were real. Dr. K's radiation exposure should have been fatal.
And the minute he could stand on his feet again, Arda shuttled him right back to his lab and bid the monkey to dance.
They allowed him to carry on in the hopes that he would reproduce anything useful. He worked for 2 whole years before they quietly retired him from his post.
Can't stop him scrambled to brain his attention line.
Got that accident record ready, Tobias? It's time.
Okay, then. September 14, 1961. Arda's finalized report on what happened that night. Dr. K and Alan were testing the activation potential of lab-created remnants. That night was a run-of-the-mill remnant test. Nothing out of the ordinary. The remnant in question was a tungsten cube. At 3:23 a.m., the cube was brought towards the well. The well reacted at nominal levels. However, at the 500-meter distance, the cube was sucked into the well and triggered the gamma ray surge. The energy output continued ramping up, and in 15 seconds, showed no signs of stopping. Then, Alan...
Go on. I can handle it.
Dr. K testified that Alan engaged the pressure protocol and the kill switch, both of which failed. Dr. K ordered Alan to get to safety, but Alan insisted on staying at the controls.
Only when he flipped the radiation polarity did the energy output plateau, then collapse back into itself. Ellen's gamma radiation exposure was fatal due to his proximity to the well. But for him, the entire zone might have gone under.
That's who Alan was.
Loyal until the very end.
I'm sorry, Ami.
I'd expect nothing less from him. Once that car gets to the well, we can expect another gamma ray eruption. We'll need a way to cut it off. And I may have found the answer in Alan's lab notes. His work on that suppression technique was top-notch.
What's interesting is Dr. K and Alan didn't know any more than we do now. They had no conclusions about what the well is.
Or what the remnants did. Or how they interacted with this well. Maybe they're ladles that scoop out a metered amount of gamma radiation. Maybe they trigger an eruption that we can't stop and will destroy the zone if we get it too close.
That's a hell of a range. What are we going to do?
We keep going.
But if it's an eruption...
I already sacrificed the Olympic Peninsula once for Little Tech. How many chances for total and utter fallout does a gal get in her life, huh?
In another life, we would have made a fantastic team.
In no universe would I not have murdered you in your sleep.
into the deep zone. Easy peasy.
Except for the issue of the old wall.
Right, yeah. That. You got some genius idea up your sleeve, huh?
Is that how you think it works?
The scientist construct genius at will.
Well, yeah. Do you?
Oh, well, in this case I do. But don't expect it to work like that every time. Driver, the quarantine checkpoints will be the best way through the old wall, but they're death traps in their own right. But I designed something to help. Check out the blueprints I sent over.